Elite women's golf has returned to the South Australian capital. Once more, the world's best are enjoying all the delights that Adelaide has to offer. And picture-perfect Kionga Golf Club, just west of the city, is where the battle for the Patricia Bridges Bowl will be decided for 2018. Young Australian rookie Hannah Green will be in the spotlight as she heads into the final round at 7 under par after a stunning start to the weekend. Fellow West Australian Minjee Lee might have something to say though, 2 shots back and ready to pounce in the race to be just the 4th Australian to win their National Open. Separating the local hopes is Sun Young Yu, lurking in dangerous range after a grandstand finish placed her in a share of 3rd. But the one to beat is Jin Young Ko. Freshly minted on the LPGA Tour, she has led the way from day one. Can she keep her nerve to hold off the chasing pack? Or will one of the challengers prevail and be crowned champion today at the ISPS Handa Australian Open? Yes, Adelaide has once more been a most gracious host to all the golfing greats who've descended on the city of churches this week. A few clouds around at Kionga Golf Club, but the finals feel is palpable. The galleries agog to see if Jin Young Ko would round once again. You say there were a few wobbles, but she righted the ship very quickly.
Yes, she certainly did, and this was at the 4th. This was a birdie putt here, and that would get her to 12 under par. And then after a perfect position off the tee here at the 5th, known for her precision iron play, and that is well rewarded here at Kionga. And she would go on to make that and get to 13 under par. Now here is the West Australian rookie Hannah Green, 3 times a winner on the LPGA's developmental tour, the Symetra Tour, and with quality shots like that, she would make a birdie there at 16 to get to 7 under. Jin Choi from South Korea also. This was at the 4th, and a fantastic iron shot there. That'd get her to 5 under par. And then Sun Young Yu, major champion on the LPGA, on a perfect position on 17.
Young talents, Minjee top 10 at a National Open the last 2 starts.
And a 3-time winner on the LPGA Tour, Jin Choi, playing alongside Sun Young Yu. Well, it's been a while since Sun Young Yu won, but Jin Choi, she is just tremendous. Only an amateur last year and now ranked 11th in the world.
History beckons for either of these 2 players. They're our last group today. Jin Young Ko looking to become the first player to win an LPGA in her official first start on the tour since 1951. And Hannah Green, well, it's only her 2nd start as a full-time LPGA Tour member. One of the players who was able to win in her 2nd start is Kari Webb. Great galleries, ready to soak in what should be a fantastic day of golf. I hope you enjoy it with us as Chella Choi is about to start her day. She starts 7 back, as is the case for Mo Martin. These 2 seem to be perennial contenders at this event.
Look of steely intent in Mo Martin's eyes, determined to have a cracking season in 2018.
And here's the final round queen, Jia Shin. Can she get hot early? Birdie on the first helps. 5 under for Jia Shin, a former champion of this event. Earlier today, already plenty of action. We'll start with the American Lindy Duncan here on the 4th with a birdie putt. She's been hot through her start to the round. She's 4 under for the day, 4 under for the tournament.
Another player, hot start for Olivia Cowan, ranked 222 in the world. Birdie chance at the 7th, and she was on fabulous form, her 4th birdie of the day.
Hana Jang's back 9 at Royal Adelaide will be remembered forever. She's coming from a long way back today, but this on 7. She's 4 under through 11 holes today.
Australian hopeful Stephanie Naab. This at the first par 3, the third. Pin tucked all the way in the back left-hand corner. 149 metres. This was a 6-iron. And in she went. The second hole-in-one this week after Jenny Hagland. And that gave the local crowd something to cheer about.
Not just an Aussie, but a girl from Adelaide, an ace at her National Open in her home city. What a moment for Steph Naab. Moria Jatanagarn here on 6. She's lurking about, but she'll have to charge hard late.
Emma Tully. Oh, so frustrating for the young Kentucky girl. Around a 76 yesterday, looking to get back on track early. And Tally did that. That was an excellent pitch in. She made the birdie, so a good start for Tally.
And Laura Davies, so ever a popular visitor to these shores. She's playing with Steph Naab, and she followed it up there with a birdie on 7. She's even for the day, and in fact 1 over for the day to be even for the championship. So we see that Jie Shin with that early birdie creeps up the leaderboard. Hana Jang, she's a long way back, but we know of her ability to get on a hot streak. Jin Young Ko and Hannah Green, our leaders, are about 35 minutes away from teeing off. Will any of these players make a late charge to prominence?
You won't see her get home in 2 on them, but she will regularly get that wedge close.
And the umbrellas are up. Perhaps if you've got very good eyesight, you can faintly see that light rain coming down. Interesting to see if that gets a little heavier as the afternoon progresses. Certainly plenty of cloud cover around here at Kooyonga.
Oh, well, the putter's behaving today, the final Sunday for Emma Tally, and a smile is back on her face. A frustrating day yesterday after making such a good impression over Thursday and Friday.
Karini Sher and Soyeon Yu waiting their turn, and Soyeon's perhaps trying to garner a little support from the locals with that colour combination.
Mikey Patterson, a new caddy, having a look at the Patricia Bridges bowl.
Give it room right. Give it room right.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no way.
Mo Martin's third to the opening par 5.
Jatanagarn, former world #1, gunning for a birdie at the 4th. Oh, she rattled that one in confidently.
Playing with Emma Tally. Both have known each other since teenage years.
Stay there, and it does for Chella Choi. Oh, she is so useful with these shot-making clubs. Those clubs within 100 yards. Number of players now carry 4 wedges in the bag, nearly 5 woods. By the time you've added the putter, you've only got a few mid-range irons.
Shortly, So Yun-Yu and Karini share a look to the skies, and indeed light precipitation greets them as they're about to embark on their final round.
And from France, Karine Ishet.
It's been a long time since Ishet entered the winner's circle. You have to go all the way back to 2005, bidding for her first win on the LPGA Tour. And you're going to have to think it's rounds of 63 or 64 that we're going to need to see today to mount a challenge from Jin Young Ko.
Safe home. Jane Craft has joined us now in the commentary box. Let's tap into your local knowledge. We're going to get really wet. Charlie Hull with a chance to pick up a birdie here on 2.
It looks like there's a little bit of a front coming through. I think there's something up in the northwest of Western Australia that's a little bit of a tail coming down here, but hopefully not. It'll certainly soften up the golf course a bit more and make it more scoreable.
Maura Jatanagan. Now, the 9th hole yesterday gave up a few eagles. Not going to be an eagle, but a very good look at a birdie for Maura Jatanagan. She's 3 under, 3 birdies and a drop shot at the 8th hole.
Popular Aussie Catherine Kirk. Great breakthrough win last year and finding a putt there to keep her name relevant. 6 from the lead. She's picked up 3 shots today as the Queenslander. And there we are, zeroing in. That's the South Australian capital, and that looks a little nasty on its way, Jane.
It certainly does. Hope that red stuff just slides above us. Certainly don't want it to be too heavy. Now Mo Martin here at the first. A bit of right to left in it. It's certainly been some good scores so far this morning, Quentin and Kate. It's out there and it's doable.
Green's a little bit more receptive with the light rain that is falling down. And it's when they get very hard and bouncy, Jane, as you would well know, that's a very good defence that Kooyonga has. Hard to get it close.
Yes, I think each night Trevor Herden has instructed the ground staff to put some water on the greens. I think he was a little concerned early in the week that it was going to be too firm. Some players always like it to be firm, others would prefer it to be able to throw darts. Now Chella Choi, not the best of putting stats, but I tell you what, she's hit a lot of greens. It's hard to make a lot of putts and get it under 30, Kate, when you've hit 18 greens.
18 greens, numbers you dream of.
I'm going to have to be a bit more aggressive than that, Chella.
Second behind Kari Webb at Victoria in 2014. She was prominent at Royal Melbourne the year after as well. As Charlie Hull, if you weren't with us yesterday, she was charging through the back 9 until she took a triple bogey 7 at the 17th. And we say it again, Kate, if she gets on a hot streak, wow, she's good to watch and she could charge.
Oh, without a doubt.
Going from the left side of the fairway, this dog leg to the right. Unlikely she can reach it in 2. Just going to be putting it into position. Front left hole location, so a little bit of right of centre would be ideal. It's always good to just get it over that little mound, get a bit of a flatter lie there. That'll be fine. So Yun-Yu going just with a hybrid here for position. She'll be fine.
Interesting to see what the year holds for So-Yeon Ryu. It was a fabulous start last year. She picked up another major in addition to the US Open, winning the ANA Inspiration in very dramatic circumstances against Lexi Thompson in a playoff. Went to world number 1.
Seven from the lead, Moria Jatanagarn, as she finishes her outward 9 with a 3 under 34.
And that's what the chasers need to do. They've got to put some birdies on the board early, especially the two Aussies, if they can get the crowd more on their side.
A very familiar face. Hasn't been the co-show that we know. It's been a co-show of a different variety so far this week, but Lydia...
Well, there's a good example, Quentin, of how important it is to hit the fairways here at Kooyonga. Takes a big bounce, but a lot of slope at the back of that green. She's lucky she didn't go over. That would have been a diabolical chip, but yeah, turned out.
I'm also happy with it, I have to say. Almost a rite of passage for everyone that comes to Australia. I've been feeding it to a lot of players that have come over for years, but So-Yeon's the first one that's really taken to it, I think. Pretty heavy conditions out here at the moment. It is just ever so slightly condensed, I guess you could say, the air. 95 metres left for So-Yeon. Flag barely moving at all. This one pushed out just ever so slightly to the right.
Oh, good for distance, Ali. Judged a little bit of uphill very nicely. Right to lefter for So-Yeon Ryu here at the first.
Now, after a birdie on the first, the final round queen, Jie Shin, has a chance to move to 7 under.
I saw her working a lot on these long putts on the practice green this morning.
Well, that's not an eagle, but it's another birdie. And had a chat with her last night in the locker room, and she goes, yeah, I could shoot 64. I said, how many times? What's your lowest score you've ever had in a final round? She goes, 64. She looked at me and she goes, but I've done it a few times. And now if you think 64, that's 8 under, she'll be seeing her in her rearview mirror, Jin Young Ko, that's for sure.
Well, after the highlight of earlier in the day, Steph Na holing out off the tee at 3. Wow. Sometimes you'd have to settle your nerve a little after that. Such
the adrenaline.
Home city as well. She's obviously dialed it in there. And speaking of hometown expectations, one of the two that have really been zeroed in on today is about to set her final day alight. Minjee Lee playing with Nasa Hateoka. Both incredibly talented young players. Minjee Lee, top 10s the last 2 years at this event.
And from Japan, Nasa Hateoka.
Just 19 years old, Nasa Hateoka garnered a lot of attention in Japan when she won a major, the Japan Open, as a 17-year-old amateur.
And quite long off the tee for one who's small in stature. Both of these players give it a good hit. Look, Minjee is not short, and Nasa is well past her here on the first.
Ahead to the green. Beautiful holding speed.
Thought that one might break just a little bit to the front of the green, but it stayed very straight. A little bit of moisture on the grass could be a factor as well. Sometimes with that moisture, the ball doesn't break quite as much as you see.
opportunity knocked for Lydia Ko.
Seen a little bit of that this week, haven't we, from her? Strokes that look good, just not quite the right line.
You wonder how frustrated she is. First season last year without a win on the LPGA Tour. You miss winning. You try and force it.
Well, that never really ever had the correct line. So pars here at the opening hole for both So Yeon Ryu and Karine Shea.
Interesting to see where the galleries really flock today, with a couple of Australians playing in the last groups. This is the third to last group off. Next we have Heo-jin Choi and Sun Young Ryu. I think there won't be as many people around that group as there will be the third to last and the last.
I have a feeling you're right.
Hannah Green playing with Jin Young Ko. And you come to a tournament on a Sunday, it's got a different atmosphere. One. Then there are a couple of local contenders. It heightens the feeling. And then today as well, I don't know about you, Kate and Jane, but another lift in energy when the news filtered around that Stephanie Na had holed out not only an Aussie but a local. There is just a wonderful energy around Kooyonga.
Oh, there absolutely is. And even though there is some rain coming down right now, there's still a lot of people out here. Adelaide has really come out and supported this tournament the last couple of years, and again here at Kooyonga this year in 2018. Look how far past. That's a long way to those fairway bunkers on the right-hand side there. Past those fairway bunkers, Kate. I mean, she's hit it almost 270 metres.
That's huge. I mean, I'm just looking at her average drives this week for Nasa Hataoka. That's at 268.
I think it's in yards. Yes, but
oh, that's still long. That's your average. She's 5 foot nothing.
Exactly, and she may have a chance of getting very close to that green. Minjee Lee not opting for that option, going to lay up to a yardage that's comfortable for her.
Really a pretty straightforward layup, but this coming out to the right.
And that light rough, but she has been good around the par fives, Minjee Lee. She is 7 under par playing the par fives this week. 3 over for the par threes. So she'll take advantage of the front line where there are 3 par fives, looking to make a statement early, put the pressure on Jin Young Ko.
Oh, interesting choice here, Kate, is after hitting driver off the tee, now opting to lay up with an iron. There is a new fairway bunker over there on the left to tighten up that landing area. And you almost wonder why she didn't take a wood and give it a rip. Curious choice of club there.
A smiling Kentucky native, Emma Talley. Oh, another birdie for her. She has been battling a left shoulder injury. 3 birdies in the opening 5 holes today after a tough day out yesterday.
It's good to see. Now, Adelaide's own Steph Na for a birdie here at the 9th. Come on, Steph, give it a go.
It's a pretty scorecard though, because it has a 1 on it. Doesn't win a car. The car has gone, the Genesis. But you still want to have those on your resume.
Second to last group, Hurjin Choi and Sun Young Yu. Just loosening the limbs, and it looks as though that very light rain has left us for the time being, but the satellite image that we showed you a short time ago suggests we could be in for a fair bit of precipitation up to the colourful American Tifjo. Took a fair bit of the hole, but goes to the bottom. A 3 under for Tifjo is 8 shots from the lead. Catherine Kirk getting ever closer to that 11 under marker.
Club selection so important, and that is a top shot from Catherine Kirk right underneath the hole. Good chance for another birdie. Lie doesn't look too bad over here. Of course, there's always a little bit of fluffiness in that sort of dry Bermuda grass. There's that tad of uncertainty as to how it's going to react once it hits the surface. Slightly uphill. Okay. Good chance for Minjee to get a birdie on the opening hole.
Do you ever get used to the pressure of playing at your home open, Jane?
Oh, I think it's that extra level of excitement. You've got to learn to control your adrenaline and not get ahead of yourself and just play the game you know. Hit the shots that are required. Don't get ahead of yourself. Oh, and that's what Ali Whitaker was talking about on the previous group. It's that little mound, little valley that can funnel the ball away from the green.
She obviously didn't feel confident about going in with a 3-wood, and then she's turned over a wedge, and all of a sudden, kind of struggling for a par because it's slippery from there. Strange.
The charge of Kirk. Does it strike another blow?
Looks so good for so long. Talked a lot about getting back to putting like a kid. Seeing the line, not doubting yourself and hitting it in the back of the hole. Had good pace. Good try.
Almost could have been 5 birdies in a row. As it is, she's 5 shots from our leader, Jin Young Ko, who is just about to embark on her final round with Hannah Green. So much hope for the 21-year-old from Western Australia. And if she can join Jane Crafter, Jan Stevenson and Curry Webb as Australians on the Patricia Bridges Bowl.